From Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium in Tucson, Arizona, this is the Sun Belt College Baseball Summer League featured game. Hello, this is Alan Scott here to webcast the soon-to-start game between the Cochise Stars and the Tucson Champs. This will be the fourth and probably the final time that these two teams will meet this season, barring the need for a regular season playoff to see which gets into the postseason. It's hard to say which team has the most pressure leading into this game. Maybe the Tucson Champs. They are 4 games behind a fourth and final playoff spot. To get there, the Champs will need to win their final 5 games of the season and get some help to shut Team Tucson out over the final 6 games. Long shot indeed, but hope springs eternal, right? The pressure is on the Cochise Stars as well, as they do not want to drop into 4th place in the standings, because that would mean taking on the league-leading Aztecs in a semifinal playoff game rather than the BNL Rockets currently in 2nd place. Both the Stars and the Champs are coming off losses. Both losses had some meaning, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond to the disappointments of those losses. Had the Cochise Stars won, they would have moved to win in a game and a half of first place. The loss drops them back to 2.5 games with just 6 to go. However, the Stars do have 2 games against the BNL Knights, a team that they trail by 1 game, and a game against the league-leading Aztecs. Sweeping those games without losing to a team below them in the standings would bode well for them finishing in first place for the regular season. A Tucson Champs loss will make it harder for them to move into the playoff picture. Right now, as I mentioned, they're 4 games out of the playoffs. Of their remaining 5 games, only 1 is against a team below them in the current standings. So a win tonight is important to set the tone for their stretch drive. The outlook for the Champs against the Cochise Stars does not look to be in their favor, as the teams have met 3 times before, and Cochise came from behind to win Game 1 9-8, picked up a 14-8 victory in Game 2, and achieved another success 4-2 in the last game. The other games on tonight's schedule are Team Tucson against the Rincon Knights. The Champs will be rooting for the Knights. And the other game is with the BNL Rockets taking on the Old Pueblo Kings. I'll have scores from both those games as they move along and become available. In a minute or two, I'll check out Saturday's scores, look at the current standings, and get tonight's game started. But first, I'd like to ask you to hear about the Sun Belt College Baseball League sponsors and ask you to support them as they support us. We encourage you to do business with these sponsors, but even if you don't, please at least let them know you appreciate their support of the Sun Belt College Baseball and this webcast of the games. Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Pima County's Kino Sports Complex, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Cochise Fire Protection Company, Stop and Go Driving School, Goliath Auto Sales, the Rincon Financial Group, Jimmy John's Restaurants, Best Western Tucson International Airport Hotel and Suites, Firestone Complete Auto Care, Chewy's Mesquite Broiler at 22nd and Kolb, and by Elite Sporting Goods. Just a quick note, if you'd like to see any of the games webcast this season, just go to YouTube, search the Alan Scott channel, that's ALLEN, Scott with 2 T's, channel, Alan Scott channel. Click on the icon and scroll down to see the game that you would like to see. Exchanging lineups at home plate right now, and we'll take a look at the schedule today. As I mentioned, we have the Cochise Stars. They will be in the dugout to our right with the Tucson Champs to our left. They're the home team tonight. Team Tucson will go against the Rincon Knights, and BNL Rockets will play the Old Pueblo Kings. The results from Saturday, the Kings lost a heartbreaker 8-7 to the Rincon Knights. It was a walk-off bottom of the 10th inning base hit. Cochise Stars dropped a 6-9 count to the Aztecs. They're the league leading team. And the Tucson Champs came up short against Team Tucson 12-9. No changes in the standings, so we have the Aztecs number 1, 15-4, BNL Rockets at 13-5. They are a game and a half out. The Cochise Stars a game behind at 12-6. Then we drop down a little bit to Team Tucson. They are 5 games out of first place. The Tucson Champs are 9 back. Old Pueblo Kings are 10 back. And the Rincon Knights 10.5. The Aztecs have 5 left. The BNL, Stars, Team Tucson all have 6 games left. The Champs, Kings, and Knights all have 5 games left to the regular season. We're about ready to get started, but before we do, our national anthem. Quick look at the starting lineups here for the visiting team, Cochise Stars. Leading it off will be the third baseman, Marcus Mendez. Daniel Gonzalez is in center field. He'll be followed by the extra hitter, Derek Cavallo. Then to number 4, Sergio Santa Cruz is at first base tonight. In the 5th spot, Robert Valenzuela behind the plate. Alejandro Martinez is at second. The designated hitter tonight, check that the shortstop tonight will be Gilbert Valenzuela. The designated hitter, Jonathan Diebel. Sherrick Sandborg will be out in left. And Blake Phillips will be in right field. Checking the Tucson Champs, Jacob Federico will lead it off. He is the extra hitter tonight. Mikey Villa will be in right field. Luis Zamorano at second. Nathan Baez, who went 5 for 5 on Saturday evening, will be at shortstop for the Champs. Robert Campillo will be at first base. Ricky Martinez patrolling center field. Fabian Ferreira will be behind the plate. Dylan Kaiser, the designated hitter. Elijah Hart, I believe, is going to be in right field, and Mikey Villa might be at third base, but we have a duplicate of the 9 position here. I'll have to check when they take the field. And A.J. Van Bogart will be the gentleman in left field for the Tucson Champs.
Leading off for the Stars, third base at 13, Marcus Mendez.
Well, it is, in fact, Elijah Hart at third base for the Tucson Champs. We've mostly seen him in the outfield so far. Right down Main Street to Marcus Mendez, batting .235 in his stadium appearances this year. And he takes a called strike. On the mound, Tyler Gray. And we've mentioned several times that we are having a connection problem, if you will, between the scores that are at each venue that we have. The 3 go on each night. But for some reason, the venues are not talking to the cumulative scores, so we're having a terrible time trying to keep up with who's what and where. I finally gave up on it, and we have it here just in the stadium. This one fouled off on a 1-2 count, and Mendez will come back up swinging again with the 5th pitch of the at-bat. We're just getting underway. Beautiful day here in Tucson, albeit pretty toasty. 104. We had 106 yesterday. Now, the one thing that does happen is the temperatures do dip down during the nighttime hours, but that won't happen for 3 or 4 hours, so we're going to have to do toasty for right now. Swung on and missed to strike out, and that will be the first out at the top of the first inning and the first strikeout for Tyler Gray. Next up will be Daniel Gonzalez. Daniel will be out in center field tonight. His stadium batting average is .222. Daniel has 6 hits in 27 stadium at-bats so far. Some problem going on in center field here as the pitcher Gray is looking out there to see what's going on. Right fielder had to go over and shut the bullpen gate is what the holdup was. So Gray rocks and fires and comes to the plate. Just turning away from an inside pitch is Daniel Gonzalez. He'll be followed by Derek Cavallo, who is the extra hitter tonight, 1-0 count. Inside corner for a called strike. Wind typically moving from the left corner to the right corner, which it is at this time. Wind moving fairly swiftly, as a matter of fact. Foul left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This is the second time Gray has had a hitter at 1-2 after 3 pitches. We'll give you the outfield dimensions and check the defenses here in just a second. A 1-2 pitch set to go. Gray comes to the plate. Right back up through. Gray kicks it with his foot. Can't find out where it went. And that will be a base hit. Now, if this was soccer, that would be swell. They're going to go out and check and see if he is injured. He got it off his left heel. I would suspect they're going to ask the young man to maybe throw 1 or 2 here, but he doesn't seem any the worse for wear. So the opportunity of heel to first base with an out went nowhere because the ball popped up in the air and came back towards the first base foul line. So Gray, looking none the worse for wear, steps up there with a runner on and 1 out in the top of the first inning. Derek Cavillo takes a called strike. On deck hitter is Sergio Santa Cruz, who planted one on the berm in left field the other night. Sunfield for the first baseman, second baseman, and right fielder. Also, the sun is bathing Ricky Martinez in center. However, he's not looking in that westerly direction, while the first 3 that I mentioned do look that way. Right at the moment, the first baseman, Robert Campillo, is in a little bit of shadow as the sun dances around and through the superstructure of the stadium on the left side. Derek Cavallo. Runner goes, hit and run, down to third base. A nice scoop by Elijah Hart, but he gets it late over to first base, and that will be a base hit. Well, we're waiting for the score, and they come up and say that it is an error. So E5. That will send Gonzalez over to second base. And Sergio Santa Cruz, first baseman. Sergio at .333, and he has been so amazingly consistent on that number ever since he stepped into the batter's box the first time up here in the stadium. He is 6 for 18. Hit out towards the second baseman, Zamorano, to second for 1 and back to first for the double play, and that'll be a 4-6-3 winner for the pitcher, Tyler Gray, getting him out of the inning after an error and a base hit, got 2 runners on. So nothing across here in the top of the first inning. We will go to the second, and the Tucson champs coming to bat. But we'd like to invite you, beg you, tell you that Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium will be the place for the 4th of July. I don't care where you are in the country, come on down. They have a spectacular fireworks show following an all-star 7-inning baseball game that will start at 6:30. And at 5 o'clock, the gates will open. And they'll open the dollar hot dogs giveaways, a kids' fun zone with games, music, and much more. All this for just $4. $4. And if you buy an advance ticket here at the stadium or at the Kino Sports Complex office, you will get not only admission to the game and all those other goodies, but you'll get free parking as well. You can also get advance tickets at Pizza Hut, Food City, or the Cactus Bowling Alley. That's Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium, 4th of July. Gates open at 5. Games start at 6:30. And the fireworks we suspect will be around the 9 o'clock hour. The extra hitter stepping in there for the bottom of the first inning. We do have 10 in the lineup. You don't have to have 10 in the lineup, and every now and then that happens. Jacob Federico is the extra hitter. He'll be followed by Mikey Villa. First pitch to Jacob is a strike on the outside corner, and then Luis Zamorano, the young man who started that double play. We still have first and second in the sun there. Right field has found a little patch of shade. This one lifted to center field. Daniel Gonzalez didn't even have to move, and it came right to him. So a fly out to the outfield. We'll check the infield. Marcus Mendez at third base. Gilbert Valenzuela at short. Alejandro Martinez at second, and Sergio Santa Cruz is at first. Robert Valenzuela behind the plate, and Brandon Farnsworth is on the mound. We'll check the outfield in a second. Pitch inside part of the plate for a called strike as Mikey Villa steps in there. Villa in the stadium is batting .333. 0-1 pitch, lifted off to the stands on the right side. We have stands down the foul lines, nothing in the outfield, so when I say he hit it into the stands, don't get excited. It wasn't a home run. It was down the sidelines. Outfield, Sanborn in left, Gonzalez in center, and Blake Phillips in right. He is benefiting right now from the sun hiding behind the superstructure of the stadium. Changeup wrapped right back through Farnsworth's legs. In hockey, they call that the 5-hole. And as with the top of the first inning, the second batter up gets a base hit. So that will bring up Luis Zamorano. Luis is the second baseman tonight, and he is batting .222 here in the stadium. Now, these players might be hitting a ton on the south fields, but we just have had a horrible time getting the statistics all put together. First pitch, a called strike on the outside corner. Hustling down to coach at first base, Taylor Shaw, one of the pitchers in the Tucson Champs lineup. Pitchers don't hit in this league. Move to first, not quite in time. Phillips makes a move to back it up, as well he should. So he's alert out there. The next batter will be Nathan Baez. Nathan is committed to the university, or rather Arizona State University, even though he is from this area. And I mentioned the other night, he went bonkers, went 5 for 5. What he needed was a triple to hit for the cycle, but it didn't come to pass. Off-speed pitch just misses inside, and the count goes to 1-2. One out here in the first inning, runner on first by way of a base hit. Actually, Villa is having a little trouble with the sunshine as the runner over there moved to first, not quite in time. fairly decent Farnsworth move. Not sure I want to be showing that great move early in the ball game. You want to lull somebody to sleep and then get them when you really need them. Ball floats high and we'll square it up at 2. Outfield pretty much squared away. Blake Phillips a little shallow in right field. Infielders at double play depth, and holding at first is Sergio Santa Cruz. This one lifted out towards Phillips. He retreats several steps and can't catch up with it. This ball will carry because of the heat here, and I think that Blake got fooled on that ball as he kept floating farther and farther away from him. Check and see if they rack that one up as an error. He didn't actually get the glove on the ball, so they give him the benefit of the doubt, and it is going to be a base hit. The man on first base gets all the way around to third, so runners at first and third with one out, and Baez not exactly the guy you'd like to have coming up based on his performance Saturday night on one of the south fields. Off-speed pitch, the throw to first not quite in time, as the catcher Valenzuela decided to let Zamorano know that he was keeping an eye on him. First pitch strike. Baez on the stadium season batting .467. And that isn't even talking about the 5 for 5 out on the outer fields. Inside is the pitch, 1-1. So an opportunity for the Champs. Their record is 6-13, while the Cochise Stars almost the opposite, 12-6. Outside corner for a called strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes. The umpires in this league seem to favor that outside part of the plate and have a tendency to ring up pitches that appear to be just a bit off the black there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This one almost in the same spot, but dropped down low. And for the second batter in a row, Farnsworth is even at 2-2. Outline of the Catalina Mountains in the background behind center field there. Off-speed pitch, lifted to center field. Daniel Gonzalez grabs it, comes home with it. The runner tags at third, and the throw is offline. So that will be a sacrifice fly to center field. Daniel Gonzalez actually did a fine job. He got behind the ball because you want to be moving forward to try to get the oomph on the throw. I realize that's a highly technical term, oomph. Anyway, with the error or the missed fly ball in right field, Mikey Villa had an opportunity to go all the way around to third, and that scored the run. Runner at first, Zamorano, stayed at first. The move to first, pretty close, but not close enough to catch him. With 2 outs, the batter is the first baseman, Robert Campillo. Way outside, Valenzuela gets outside to grab it. 1 ball and no strikes. Robert batting an even .300 here in the stadium. Runner goes. Throw down to second base won't be in time. And a stolen base for Zamorano. Good time to go. Of course, they didn't know what the signal was going to be or the pitch call was going to be. But it was an off-speed pitch. And, boy, that sure puts a lot of pressure on a catcher to try to get a runner out at second. So another runner in scoring position. 1 ball and 1 strike on the hitter. Outside corner for that called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A run across here in the bottom of the first inning as the Champs take the lead over the Stars. Champs have the lower percentage of wins. They would love to get something going. Swung on and missed. That will be the 3rd out of the bottom of the first inning. It'll be the first strikeout for Farnsworth, and 1 across here in the bottom of the first inning after 1 full inning of play. It is the Cochise Stars 0 and the Champs 1. Cochise has been a leader in all aspects of fire protection since 1982. They've been around, eh? Cochise Fire Protection Company serves both home and business locations by providing design, planning, and management of your fire protection needs. Cochise has an extensive knowledge in fire protection, and they work very hard to keep their fine reputation. Look online to find Cochise Fire Protection Company, first in quality, serving with pride. Robert Valenzuela will lead it off. He is the catcher for the Cochise Stars as they try to get the one back that they gave up in the first inning. Big swing and a towering drive to left center. Need to call it out there, and they finally do. Ricky Martinez gets over and grabs that one that was probably as high as it was long. First out of the top of the second, and that will bring up Alejandro Martinez, the second baseman. Checking the defenses for the Tucson champs, Elijah Hart at third, Nathan Baez at short, Luis Samarano at second, Robert Campillo at first. Behind the plate is Fabian Faria, and we'll check the outfield in a second, inside corner for a called strike. In the outfield is A.J. Van Bogart, center field Ricky Martinez, and Mikey Villa is in right field. Down low, whoop, that's a strike. 0-1. Check that, 0-2. As I mentioned, the breeze going in the same general direction. Second. Okay, they say they reconnected successfully. I'm happy for them and you. Well, the sun has gone behind the superstructure, so first, second, and right not having to put up with the sun anymore. 2-1 pitch. Just misses inside, and Mr. Gray felt otherwise. 3-1 the count. The umpires in the league seem to favor that outside part of the plate more than the inside part of the plate. Ball is high, and that's our first walk of the ball game. Jonathan Diebel will be up there. He is the designated hitter. Diebel in the stadium here is batting 125. Way outside for a ball. To the plate. Kind of waved at it outside corner. Didn't have his heart in the swing. And it cost him a strike. Diebel is going to Cal State Monterey Bay. A Suharto High School graduate here in Tucson, Arizona. The vast majority of these players have some sort of connection with Tucson. Either they're playing collegiate ball here, or they graduated from high school here, or they were at a college program and have a friend, a teammate, follow them down here. So the vast majority of these players have some sort of connection with Tucson. This one fouled back to the screen. 2-2. Wind is swirling a little bit here. Flags look straight away, but we notice some of the refuge blowing around in the stadium. There is not much of it, but there's a little piece here. The runner goes. The throw down to second base is late and rolls off into short right field. Getting over there to recapture it is Nathan Baez. But the stolen base is successful, and that'll put a runner in scoring position. The pitch was a ball, and to the sixth pitch of the at-bat, we'll go 3-2. Back to second base on the move. Going to check and see what's going on with our webcast here. They said earlier that we had lost the OBS, which is the software that sends stuff out to YouTube. Ball is down low and a second walk in a row. As we check on what's happening here, if we have to bail out, not sure whether we have audio going or not. Next hitter is Sherrick Sanborn. And not exactly sure what's happening. Shows that it is moving out of the initial situation. First pitch is a ball to Sanborn, who's the left fielder. However, the YouTube shows that it's buffering. So shot down to second baseman Samarino, and he flips it to the shortstop for the force out at second base, and that will end the inning. So even though they threatened at the top of the inning here, the Cochise Stars failed to come across with anything, and after an inning and a half, it is 1-0 in favor of the Tucson Champs. O'Reilly Chevrolet would like to let you know about their 95th anniversary tent sale. They have that sale going on, 20% off MSRP on the most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs on the lot. So get on down to 6160 East Broadway, O'Reilly Chevrolet, the good folks that know how to provide the best in sales and service, O'Reilly Chevrolet. Well, it seems that we're back in the world here. The problem is that they have some sort of music copyright program that listens in, and if they happen to catch a few notes where they can identify the music that's going in the background for which rights have already been paid, but they refuse to accept letters or phone calls. That was Ricky Martinez got planted in the back on the first pitch by Brandon Farnsworth here in the bottom of the second inning. Anyway, sometimes they put a hold on the archive, the outside corner for a called strike. Fabian Ferreira is the batter. Fabian on the season is batting .133 here in the stadium. That doesn't mean that he's not batting a ton elsewhere, but I've explained a couple of times about the problems with our scorekeeping apparatus. Anyway, we'll have to check on it later. Right now, for all I know, things are going okay, so if anything is different, I appreciate having the word on it. Move to first. Nothing going on there. Outside corner misses. Count goes to 2-1. Big military transport plane beginning to swing around over the stadium here, headed to Davis-Monthan Air Force Base, which is a major employer here in town. Off-speed pitch drops right in at the knees and is a called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dylan Kaiser, who is the on-deck hitter and is the designated hitter tonight. Leadoff batter got on, being hit by a pitch. This one lifted to right center field. On his horse is Gonzalez. Over to get it is Blake, and they crisscross and miss each other. Thank goodness they didn't run into each other, but they did not come up with the ball. Thought maybe we had a collision course set to go out there, and thank goodness that did not occur. Apparently they will give a base hit on that, and the rule of thumb, quite frankly, is that if it had been caught, it would have been a fantastic catch, and so therefore, if it is not caught for whatever reason, they do give the benefit of the doubt. So it is a double. Runners on second and third. First pitch to Mr. Kaiser is outside for a ball. So Farnsworth has dug himself a bit of a hole here as he hit the first batter to come up, and then on a 2-2 pitch surrendered a double to right center field. Now the count goes to 2-0 with Dylan Kaiser up there. To the plate. 2-0. This one lifted to right center field once again. Blake Phillips under this one does a fine job of playing it with a run forward as he catches it, but he was deep enough that the run will score, so it's going to be a sacrifice fly out for Kaiser, but he does get a run batted in on that one. The runner at second stayed at home, and so with one out here, Ricky Martinez has scored, and Fabian Ferreira has a pinch runner for him, as they do with catchers out at second base. They don't want the catchers having to take a long bit of time to get the gear on. And the hitter is Elijah Hart. First pitch to him is outside, as Farnsworth seems to be pulling his arm across his body, and therefore not having the pitch go exactly where you want it to go. Hart 1-0, outside again, so second batter in a row that Farnsworth has been behind 2-0. 1 run in, and we've got the Champs up 2-0 over the Stars. The Stars are in third place, the Champs in fifth, so a mild upset in the works here. This one wrapped out to right center field, and that seems to be the favorite spot. Phillips over to grab it, and he will get it back into second base to hold the runner at first, but not in time to get the runner coming home, as that runner was able to take off with the stroke of the bat, seeing that it was going to drop into right center field with no problem. So it goes 3-0 in favor of the Champs right now. And we go to the 10th batter in the order. This is A.J. Van Bogart. Van Bogart in left field. A.J. batting .250 here in the stadium in his appearances here. He is 3 for 12. First pitch is a called strike. So Elijah Hart with an RBI. Dylan Kaiser with an RBI. 2 in, 1 out. Runner goes from first. The throw down to second base in time. Got him. Nice throw by Valenzuela on a pitch that was off speed, and that makes it doubly difficult to get it down there. So Hart on the move. Second pitch, a strike to Van Bogart. And we have a second out. This one hit out towards Martinez. Alejandro gets it over to first base, and they get the out 4-3, and that will end the inning here. But not before 2 come across, and at the end of 2 full innings of play, the score is the Champs 3 and the Stars 2. Check that, the Stars nothing. The top Tucson driving school is Stop and Go Driving School. Learning to drive is not just something that you do to pass your test and get your license. You do it to make sure that you're safe on the road. Hundreds of thousands of automobile accidents happen every year, many of them fatal. With the Stop and Go Driving School expert teachers, you'll be best placed to keep yourself safe. Certified driver's education courses are available at Stop and Go Driving School. Blake Phillips will lead things off here. Blake steps in there as the 10th man in the order, and they do have 10. First pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. Second pitch, called strike, 0-2. Liberty High School he graduated from, and we understand that that is in Henderson, Nevada. Fouls off, keeps his bat alive, 0-2. Pitch on the corner at the knees, called strike 3. And Blake will take a place on the bench. We'll go to the top of the order, Marcus Mendez, and he'll be followed by Daniel Gonzalez. Coming into the inning, Tyler Gray with 29 pitches gets a 4-pitch strikeout there. Gray has only given up 1 hit, and so far no runs, and he has a 3-0 lead here. Top of the order to Marcus. Third strikeout for Gray. First pitch to Marcus is a called strike. Marcus was strikeout victim number 1 as the leadoff hitter in the first inning. This one is lifted to right center field. Drifting back and doing a fine job grabbing it is Zamorano. I thought sure that thing had enough legs to get past Luis, but he scurried back there and grabbed it on a very, very nice play. Second out of the inning, and we'll go to Daniel Gonzalez. He got a base hit his first time up. That was in the first inning. First pitch swinging deep, left field, drifting back, Van Bogart. He's camped underneath it, and just like that, the Tucson champs are out of the inning. So 3 up, 3 down, a minimum of pitches thrown, and we will be moving off to the bottom of the third inning. 2.5 in the books, 3-0 in favor of the Tucson champs. Come see the difference at Goliath Auto Sales. They are the no-pressure used car dealership at 5170 North La Cholla, he stammered, Boulevard in Tucson. One of their customers, John, who lives here in Tucson, wrote a letter, and in it he said that it was the most painless deal that he had ever had buying a car, and that he would highly recommend Goliath Auto Sales. For value pricing, affordable vehicles, make sure you check out Goliath Auto Sales. Jacob Federico will lead things off here in the top of the third inning. Federico flew out to the center fielder Daniel Gonzalez in the first inning. As we are beginning to get some clouds in the area, this one wrapped into left center field. And hustling over to get it is Gonzalez. And the runner, Federico, is going to challenge him. He does successfully. So give credit to Federico. He was out of the box and going full speed. We've seen several times in this big outfield that the outfielder's not used to patrolling this large an area. And the runner, if you're coming out of the box, have an opportunity to have that ball roll all the way through to the wall. And Jacob Federico hit and run, lifted high to left field. Sanborn back to get it. And Federico, who was on the move with the pitch, had to retreat back to second base. First out of the inning here. And that will bring up Luis Zamorano. Zamorano got a base hit, one of two consecutive base hits in the first inning against Farnsworth. Then a sacrifice fly, got a run in. And then a strikeout ended the inning. But so far, Farnsworth has given up 3 runs here as the Tucson Champs lead it 3-0, way outside. Some rather dark, ominous clouds moving up from the southeast. We have had spotty thunder showers in the area over the last couple of days. Way outside for a ball. Luis Zamorano came into the stadium batting .222 on his stadium appearances, but that, of course, will go up with the base hit. Baez is the on-deck hitter. Runner goes, throw to third. Got him. Boy, that throw was right on. Robert Valenzuela did an outstanding job of coming up and throwing the ball right into the sliding Federico. And that will be the 2 to 5 second out. Three and 0 count on the batter. Inside corner for a called strike. Clouds beginning to color up with the sunset. This one lifted to the right side. Blake Phillips coming on strong. Going out as the second baseman Martinez, and going out as the first baseman Sergio Santa Cruz. And it had seeing eyes and dropped in between all three of them. The epitome of hit 'em where they ain't. Nathan Baez, I mentioned that Nathan had a 5-for-5 game the other day. The missing item out of a cycle, which is a single, double, triple, and a home run, was the triple. But 5-for-5 is certainly an evening's production for the shortstop for the Tucson Champs. The runner goes. The throw down to second base, missed him. The throw was there, but it was a little bit off to the right side of the bag. And Martinez could not grab the ball and get it around. Actually, it was a nice slide by Zamorano. He slid to the outside part of the base, which is exactly what you're taught to do when the ball is a little offline. This one hit hard, right center. Check that into the right field corner. Blake is after it. It bounces up off the wall, and I thought that would be a ground rule double and not score the run. The play at third hit the runner right in the throat. So Blake Phillips got over there into the corner. Nobody is complaining about the possibility that the ball bounced. Well, it did bounce off the blue wall there, which is above a fence right at the 340 sign. Phillips did a fine job of getting it to the cutoff man, who fired it to third base. Just as the runner, Baez, got to third, the ball hopped up and caught him right square in the throat. so they're attending to him right now. A second run batted in for Baez. He had a sacrifice fly in the first inning, but I don't think that they could have thrown that ball any more perfectly to get him right in the throat. It did bounce, so it wasn't on the fly. Moving his head around to make sure that everything works. Talk about a strange bounce and an accident. The defense did a fine job of tracking it down. Phillips and Wright corralled it and got it to the cutoff man. So we'll see if they'll do a courtesy runner here. Doesn't appear that they're going to need to do that, so Gilbert Valenzuela comes over from his shortstop position to check things out, and it looks as though in and around and through all of this, we may have a new pitcher coming into the ball game. So catcher going to come out and discuss things. The umpire coming over to give some information about who's what and where. So let's see who we have. The players do not have numbers on the fronts of their jerseys. So we're just going to have to hope that the young man turns around, which won't happen for a little while. So we will let you know that one run is across on a triple RBI by Nathan Baez, the shortstop. It could have been a lot worse if there had not been a fine throw from Robert Valenzuela, the catcher, to get Jacob Federico going into second base. They got the out at second, so that removed the runner there. The fly out to left field, so there were two outs, and then San Marino stepped up and got a base hit and was off and running to second base on a stolen base. Well, we'll try to catch what's going on here for the moment. We'll get away. Well, the new pitcher is Jimmy Morris, or Norris, I should say. Saw the movie The Rookie, and so Morris is on my mind. He comes in here, and the first batter he faces will be Robert Campillo. First ball to him is inside. It gets away from the catcher, and the wild pitch, actually the pass ball, will score a run. And that is the second run across here, and will total up 4. Bottom of the third inning, 4 runs in. Campillo with 2 outs, and it nicked him. So hit by a batter, or a pitch rather. Not a really strong start here. And that will bring up the center fielder, Ricky Martinez. He got hit by the first pitch in the second inning, thrown by Farnsworth. Then a base hit and a sacrifice fly, another base hit. Picked up a couple of runs there in the second inning. That made it 3-0, and now 2 more here, and going to chalk it up to 5-0 at the moment. First pitch, a ball to Ricky. Next pitch misses inside, 2-0. So Norris comes in the bottom of the third with 2 outs. Big swing and a miss. Fouled off. Ball gets away from Valenzuela. 2 balls and a strike. Martinez batting .250 coming into the ball game in his stadium appearances. Looks like Valenzuela may have gotten stung a little bit on that ball. So the ritual goes on where the catcher and the umpire kind of take care of each other to a certain extent back there, giving time. 2-1 is the count, 2 outs, man on first, outside corner called strike. It'll be square at 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here. Lights beginning to take over here at the stadium. Off-speed pitch wrapped out towards Valenzuela at short. Cross the infield and a little bit low, but Santa Cruz picks it up. And the out is recorded. That is the 3rd out of the inning. But 2 of them come across, and at the end of 3 full innings of play, it is the Champs 5 and the Stars yet to get on the board. Rincon Financial Group is a Tucson organization that understands that individuals face unique challenges as they prepare for retirement. The Rincon Financial Group is standing by to take the mystery out of preparing for today and tomorrow. What goals do you have? Retirement preparation, college savings, maybe estate strategy? Well, the personalized services of the Rincon Financial Group is ready to focus on your needs, your wants, and financial goals. The Rincon Financial Group. Well, we got a new pitcher in the lineup for the Tucson Champs as well. This is Cole Altier as he comes in the top of the 4th inning. First pitch to the batter, Derek Cavillo, is a call. Check that, a ball. Second pitch is swung on. Cavillo got on to first base on an error, as the Cochise Stars had a runner on scoring position in the first inning with only 1 out, but then that killer double play came along, and that ended the inning. They also had a runner on second base in the 2nd inning, but could not get him across. This one high hop down to 3rd. It's a fair ball. It hit right off the bag and went into the foul territory down the left field side. Boy, you talk about a double that there was nothing you could do about. Elijah Hart was over there just about ready to grab the ball as it came off the bag, and it came off the edge of the bag, behind the bag, and went zippo almost 45 degrees to the wall, and that puts a runner on second base with nobody out here. So 2 out of the 3 innings that we've had so far for the Cochise Stars, they've had runners in scoring position but have not been able to get them across. Outside for a ball to Sergio Santa Cruz. Sergio planted one on the berm out in left field for a home run the other night, so he does have home run power. This ball is outside. So Tyler Gray, don't know if he was on a pitch count or what the deal was, or maybe he was coming off an injury of sorts, but he only went 3 innings. This one lifted high to left center. On his horse is Martinez. Martinez will corral it, and he has the momentum going towards third. Throws the ball over there to keep the runner, Cavillo, at second base. One out, the catcher will come up there. This is Robert Valenzuela. Valenzuela, in his appearances here in the stadium, batting .310. At the set to the plate, he calls time, steps out. The umpire gave it to him without regard to the fact that Altier was in the middle of his windup and throw. First pitch to Valenzuela. In the dirt, nicely stopped by Ferreira. 1 ball and no strikes. This one lifted back towards us. If I had a net, I'd catch it. Well, darn it, it bounced and didn't come up high enough for me to get it the second time around. 1 ball and 1 strike, 1 out, and a runner on in scoring position here, as the Stars are trying to get something going after being down 5-0. Hit solidly, center field. Coming on for it is Martinez. He can't get there in time. The throw to the plate is going to be cut off. Throw to second base, gets away and goes into center field. That will send the batter Valenzuela around to third. The throw to third is offline, and Elijah Hart finally tracks it down. So a base hit and an RBI for Valenzuela, as the Stars get somebody across for the first time here in the ball game, and it's 5-1. Threw that ball around a little bit, and because of the tossing the ball around, the base hit comes all the way around. This one's skied to right field. Getting over for it is Mickey Villa. He grabs it about 2 steps before he goes across the foul line, but it was deep enough that the sacrifice fly ball to Alejandro Martinez will get a run batted in for him. And the Stars are on the board with 2. Gilbert Valenzuela, the shortstop, first pitch swinging, coming up with nothing but air. It's a nice job in right field by Mickey Villa, as he got all the way over to the foul line. Waved at it. Nope, didn't call it a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mikey went a long way to get to that ball, and then he had to contend with the stands that jet out along that area. Big swing and a miss. So in and around and through it all, somehow or other he was able to keep his eye on the ball for the second out. But the run did score, and there will be 2 across here in the top of the 4th inning. Count goes square at 2-2. Gilbert batting a healthy .357 here, and he might be adding to it, although it did not have enough leg to get over Elijah Hart at third base, and it'll be basically a pop fly out to the third baseman. 3rd out of the inning, but 2 come across for the Cochise Stars. And after 3.5 innings of play, it is the Tucson Champs 5 and the Cochise Stars putting 2 up on the board. Your Jimmy John's restaurant locations in and around the Tucson area know how much you care about freshness. That's why they spend hours in preparation every day just to make your sandwich in a brief, quick, fast time when you stop by the store. You get the freshest breads, all natural meats, and hand-sliced veggies every time. Stop by a store, or you can order online. If it's more convenient, order online at jimmyjohns.com. The catcher, Ferreira, comes up there. He had a double and came around to score there in the second inning. First pitch to him from Jimmy Norris, who came in with 2 outs last inning. Next pitch also misses, and we have a 2-0 count. Ricky Martinez led off the second inning, being hit by a pitch, swung on and missed, 2-1. And then Ferreira got a double, and Dylan Kaiser came out and flied out to Blake Phillips in right field. Next pitch, outside corner for a called strike. They're knotted at 2. Then Elijah Hart came out and got an RBI single, and that's how the Champs scored 2. This one hit him. I'm not exactly sure you need to send him to first base there, Ump, because he made absolutely no effort on the off-speed pitch to try to get out of the way. I think if I'm managing this club, I'd come out and have a little discussion about that. Oh, well, that's the way it stays, and Dylan Kaiser comes in with a runner on first base. Kaiser has an RBI sacrifice fly in the second inning. Big man having trouble with his batting average here in the stadium. He's batting .091. He might be batting a million out in the south fields, but as I've mentioned several times before, we have trouble communicating between the individual scores. This one hit sharply right at Blake Phillips. Phillips gathers it in and gets it back into the infield, so there's no advance. So a line drive out for the first out of the inning to Blake Phillips in right field, and that will bring up Elijah Hart. Hart got a base hit. It was an RBI single in the second, but then they had a hit and run on, and a very nice throw from the catcher, Robert Valenzuela, got him at second base. Hart can't find the ball. 1 strike. We're in the bottom of the second inning. This one swung on and fouled off back to the screen. Trying to get some scores from the outer fields there. There they came back. They come and go, so sometimes when I look over there, I'm going, hey, where'd you guys go? 0-2, outside corner looking, called strike 3, and Elijah knew it. It is the first strikeout for Norris. That's only the 5th batter that he has faced, and unfortunately for Mr. Norris, he plunked 2 out of the 5 that he has faced so far. A.J. Van Bogart, the left fielder, steps in there. Big sweeping golf-type swing, misses it. 0-1. Kind of keep an eye on the runner. They've been doing hit and runs most of the evening. Throw to first. Just barely got back. Valenzuela thought he had him, but he just got a hand in ahead of the tag applied by Santa Cruz. Manager came out of the dugout to say, "What's up?" But it will stand. 1 ball, 1 strike. Outside corner, swinging. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fourteenth pitch of the inning here for Jimmy Norris. To the plate, swung on, and 2 strikeouts here in the inning for Mr. Norris. So that will be a nothing across here for the Champs in the bottom of the 4th inning. And after 4 full innings of play, it is the Tucson Champs 5 and the Cochise Stars 2. The Best Western Tucson International Airport Hotel and Suites features spacious guest rooms and 2-room suites with an upscale contemporary decor. Guest room and amenities include Complimentary internet. I always like to throw an extra syllable in there. Complimentary internet, refrigerator, golf maker. That would be coffee maker unless you're a golfer. And in-room safe. Watch premium cable channels on a 42-inch flat screen HD TV. Many rooms have patio doors opening to a tranquil courtyard. A best place to stay. Best Western Tucson International Airport Hotel and Suites. Checking on some of the games in progress in the South Fields, it's the BNL Rockets 3-0 over the Kings in the top of the fifth inning. And the team Tucson is ahead of the Rincon Knights 2-1. That is in the bottom of the fifth. We are in the top of the fifth inning. Second inning of work for Cole Altier. First batter to him is Jonathan Diebel, who got a walk in the second inning. And the pitch is a strike. The second one is also a strike. Altier got through the fourth inning with 15 pitches, but gave up 2 runs to accomplish that. And a called strike looking. So that'll be the first out of the top of the fifth inning. We'll have Sherrick Sanborn, who is the left fielder. Pitch to him is outside for a ball. Sanborn has no record here in the stadium. We did see him a couple of days ago, however. Did a fine job on the mound, but did not come away with the victory in that ball game. 2-0 inside corner for a called strike. Sherrick does not particularly agree with the call. Cole Altier took over in the fourth inning, the top of the fourth. We're in the top of the fifth. Swung on. 2-2 the count. On deck hitter is Blake Phillips, playing right field tonight. This one in the dirt and will go full. A double, a flyout, a base hit, and a sacrifice fly got 2 across for the Stars last inning, and that one was a called strike. So 2 called strikeouts in a row here. 2 strikeouts for Altier. And we're going to have a pinch hitter. Jesus Acuna will come in. Normally they allow a starting player to get a couple of at-bats before they pull him out, but that is not the case here, as Jesus Acuna, 1 ball and 1 strike in the stadium for Acuna. He is batting .167, fouled off to the screen. So Jesus will try it again. We'll assume that Jesus will go into right field. That's where Blake was playing and starting. Hit out towards the shortstop. Baez up with it. The throw across the infield. And that will be a 6-3 out. It is the 1-2 fifth consecutive out recorded by Altier and closes out the top of the fifth inning. Nothing across, and we go 4.5 innings of play. It is the Tucson Champs 5 and the Cochise Stars 2. Firestone Complete Auto Care is your go-to tire shop in the greater Tucson area. Find the right tires online or in the store. There are 5 locations. Pick the one closest to you in the 2400 block of North First, 3501 East Broadway, 290 West Wetmore Road, 4800 block East Sunrise, or 7950 East Speedway. Anywhere that you go for Firestone Complete Auto Care, you will not be disappointed. Firestone Auto Care. Jacob Federico will be up for his second visit to the plate. He's 1 for 2. Got a double his last time up. First pitch swinging, sends it deep to right field, and it is either Blake Phillips or Acuna over there. I'm going to assume that is Acuna, as they're just catching up. See if we can find the number there. It is, in fact, Acuna. So he takes over in right field, and before he even gets settled out there, takes a fly ball for the first out of the bottom of the 5th inning. This one wraps solidly out towards center, but it will drop in there. Mikey Villa, first pitch swinging, and gets his second hit of the night. He got a base hit and scored in the first inning, flew out to the left fielder Sanborn in the 3rd inning, and gets a base hit here with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. The second baseman, Luis Zamorano, who has a couple of hits of his own and just misses down the line in left field, working on his 3rd hit there. In the first inning, got a base hit and stole second, but that's as far as he got. In the 3rd inning, a base hit and stole second, so he has 2 of them on the night. And then he came home on the RBI triple by Nathan Baez. Jimmy Norris got through the last inning on 12 pitches, and with the exception of hitting the leadoff batter, got a couple of strikeouts. This one wrapped just to the left of Martinez and into right field. Coming up with it is Acuna, and that will be a second base hit in a row here and move a runner around to scoring position as the Champs, with a 5-2 lead, are looking to add to it. Nathan Baez, an RBI flyout to center field in the first and an RBI triple in the 3rd. He then came home on a wild pitch. Off-speed pitch drops down low for a ball. Santa Cruz at first is on the grass. Mendez at third is a little bit back behind the baseline. And the middle infielders are at double play depth. This one lifted high to the left side. It's going to reach the seats. Mendez over to take a look at it, but it went about 10 rows up into the seating, and that will square the count at 1-1. Baez, coming into this ball game, had a .467 batting average. 1 for 1 will drive that up even more. I mentioned that he was 5 for 5 on Saturday night out on one of the south fields. Long look at second base. Norris now to the plate, and Baez misses it. Baez is number 6. He plays the number 6 position on the diamond, that being shortstop. Lifted high. Going back for it is Martinez out of second, coming on strong. And once again, everybody fell in the wrong place as the center fielder Gonzalez, the right fielder Acuna, and the second baseman Martinez all around it. But it dropped right in there for a base hit. Not much of an advance by the runners because they had to stay close to their bag and make darn sure that that ball did drop in. As a matter of fact, they had a very close call at second base as Zamorano had to hustle in there to keep from getting forced out. Well, they're loaded now. Robert Campillo, the first baseman, hit by a pitch his last time up. Big swing and doesn't get it. In his first at-bat, he was struck out by Farnsworth. The only strikeout that Farnsworth got in his 2 2/3 innings of pitching, outside for a ball, 1-1. Farnsworth, with 2 2/3 innings pitched, gave up all 5 runs. To the plate, right up back through the middle. We'll see they turn the runner loose at third. The play is at home is going to be cut off, and that is a 2-run single. 2-run RBI single there for Robert Campillo, who came into this ball game batting .300 here in the stadium. And that will score from second base Zamorano. And coming down from third will be Mikey Villa. So 2 more go up on the board for the Tucson champs. And they are in a commanding 7-2 situation right now. First pitch swinging for Ricky Martinez, the center fielder, plops the ball into the mezzanine here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. Ricky led off the second inning by being plunked in the middle of the back. Came around to score, grounded out to the shortstop Valenzuela. This pitch in the dirt, and the catcher Valenzuela, Robert by name, does a nice job of blocking it and keeping it out front. Still pretty toasty here in Veterans Memorial Stadium. Changeup catches the knees. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Currently 97 degrees here. It was up to 104 today. Another off-speed pitch blocked by Valenzuela, but there was a runner on first, so it is a strikeout swinging, and that is Norris's 3rd strikeout since coming in the bottom of the 3rd with 2 outs. So he's got 2 outs now, 2 runs in. The catcher, Ferreira, got a double in the 2nd inning and was hit by a pitch in the 4th inning. In the 2nd, he came around to score. Norris is making great use of that changeup. Finished off Martinez with the changeup and came right back to Ferreira with the changeup and got a called strike. Comes back with a hard fastball outside and misses. What you're trying to do, obviously, is a little on and a little off. To the plate, bounces it, but Valenzuela does a great job of keeping it in front of him. Two balls and a strike, a couple outs here in the bottom of the 5th, but 2 across. Jimmy Norris laboring with 2 on. This one right back at Norris, catches him right in the chest. He scoops it up and throws it to the first baseman, Santa Cruz, and he will walk into the dugout. Don't let him see you rub it, right? Well, that ends the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 more come across, and after 5 full, it's the Tucson champs 7-2 over the Cochise Stars. You know, when you really want Tex-Mex cuisine, go to Chewy's Mesquite Broiler at East 22nd and Cobb. If for nothing else, the decor. Talk about funky. Anyway, Chewy's knows what Southwestern tastes are all about, and they're there to satisfy. Chewy's on 22nd Street, open until 10 o'clock weeknights and Sundays, until 11 on Fridays, and until midnight on Saturdays. Enjoy the food, decor, and the drinks at Chewy's at East 22nd Street and Cobb. Going to the top of the order now for the Cochise Stars. Cole Altier is still on the mound for the Champs. He came in the top of the fourth inning. This one wrapped into left field, and a leadoff base hit by Marcus Mendez. He was 0 for 2 to this point, and cracks one into left field. He was kind of robbed of a base hit by Luis Zamorano at second base as he popped one into short right center field, and Zamorano got on his horse and somehow tracked it down. So a leadoff runner with the team trailing by 5 runs. This one lifted high towards the shortstop Baez. He drifts into shallow right field, check that shallow left field, and gathers it in for the out. First out of the top of the 6th inning. Runner stays at first, of course. That was Daniel Gonzalez with first pitch swinging, and that'll bring up Derek Cavillo. Cavillo with a double in the second. I got 2 on the mind. A double in the 4th inning, got around to second base, and came around to score on the RBI base hit by Robert Valenzuela. So Cavillo laces the first pitch into the stands along the right field line. Cavillo came into the ball game batting .441, and with a 1 for 2 spot right now, that will edge up ever so slightly. Move to first. Campillo was lucky to grab that. It was into the dirt. With a 5-run lead, you really kind of need to concentrate on the hitter and not worry about the runner at first. Altier at the set, to the plate, high, throw to first base. Nice snap throw by Furea, but he doesn't get him, and the count will go even at 1-1. Another move to first. Has a fairly decent move to first, but you don't necessarily need to show that right away. Angelo State is the college for Altier. That's in San Angelo, Texas. He's a graduate of Catalina Foothills here in the greater Tucson area. Ball is bounced at the plate and foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cavillo, the extra hitter tonight, is not playing out defensively. to the plate in the dirt. Nice stop by Ferreira, and holds the runner at first. 2-2 the count. Cavillo is one of two players on the team, the other one Simon Fishgold, who from this rather toasty warm area of Tucson, Arizona, is going to college at Hibbing Community College in Hibbing, Minnesota. Burr. 2-2 count. Misses down low and will go 3-2. Only one out, but it'll be interesting to see if the Stars want to try to get things rocking and rolling here. Runner stays, pitches outside for a ball, and that will put 2 on with 1 out. Mendez moves over to second base, and that will bring up Sergio Santa Cruz. Not particularly a fellow that you want to see up there with men on base. Sergio planted one over the 375 sign in straightaway left field the other night, so he does have home run power. I don't think I've given you the dimensions tonight. 340 down the foul lines. First pitch wrapped solidly out towards the second baseman. Backhand to Samorano to second base for 1 and back to first base for a double play. 4-6-3. That is the second 4-6-3 double play. Both times it was with Santa Cruz up at bat, and that will end the inning. A threat, a runner on second, unfortunately for the Stars, left there. And after 5.5 innings of play, it is the Tucson Champs 7 and the Stars 2. Elite Sporting Goods is a store specializing in equipment and uniforms, as well as school uniforms for sports and school. They also do company printing. They have a full range of services, including silk screening, embroidery, heat press, custom printing, banners, and much more. Elite Sporting Goods is over there on South Campbell at 3640. Stop by, call, or find them on the web. Elite Sporting Goods. New pitcher in for the Cochise Stars. This is Eli Madrid. Madrid will face the bottom of the order here. First pitch swinging is Dylan Kaiser. Fouls it off to the right side. Dylan will be followed by Elijah Hart. And the third scheduled hitter of the inning is A.J. Van Bogart. Dylan has a sacrifice fly RBI in the second inning and then ripped a line drive to right field, which was caught out there by Blake Phillips. So here he is in the bottom of the sixth inning with his side up 7-2. Kind of use him for a ball inside. That is in U as in U-turn. 1 ball and 1 strike. One. Had a notion, but it dropped down low. 2 balls and a strike. check the action out on the south fields here in just a second. High and away, and 3-1. Bottom of the sixth inning, the BNL Rockets leading the Kings 6-0. And in the top of the sixth, Tucson 3 and the Rincon Knights 1. This one blasted but foul. Almost undressed the young man who was coaching at first base. I believe that is Taylor Shaw, one of the pitchers. So a full count to Mr. Kaiser. Right now we're in the bottom of the sixth in this ball game. The Tucson champs 7-2 over the Cochise Stars, which is a reversal of where they are in the standings right now. The champs are 6-13 on the year, and they're in fifth spot. This one lifted over towards left field and dumps in for a base hit. So Dylan Kaiser having a nice night for himself. Gets a base hit. He's 1 for 2 on the evening, and he will lead off the sixth inning with a base hit just over the third baseman Mendez's head. To finish the thought, the Tucson champs up 7-2 are in fifth spot in the league standings, while the Cochise Stars at 12-6 are in third spot. Both teams coming off rather meaningful losses yesterday. And so far the champs have responded. This one lifted foul and back to the mezzanine to our right. Elijah Hart is the batter. An RBI single in the second, struck out looking in the fourth. 1 for 2. Came into the game 375 here in the stadium. Off-speed pitch drops down low for a ball. Elijah goes to Rainy River Community College, and he is one of several that have left the nice warm confines of Tucson, Arizona, to go to school in a cold weather area. In particular, International Falls is his cold weather place. High and away for a ball, 2-1. Elijah graduated in 2017 from Empire High School. That's down in the Vail district. Smile whenever I talk about Vail. I'll tell you why in just a second. At the set, down low, 3-1. Went to a hockey game, and who was playing music out in the area in front of the hockey arena but a steel drum band from Empire High School. And I found out later that there are several high schools in this area that have steel drum bands. This one wrapped between first and second into right field. And the rather slow of foot Dylan Kaiser does avoid the ball and gets down to second base. So runners on first and second as Eli Madrid, the new pitcher in the inning here for the Cochise Stars, has been greeted with back-to-back base hits. In fact, they have a steel drum carnival in which all of the high schools in this area and some from out of the area that have steel drum bands go to Catalina High School. I believe it's in the first part of March, and have a festival there. Bunts at it high. You've got to bunt the strike. Got to bunt the strike. Got to bunt the strike. Sorry, that's the old coach in me coming out. At the bat is A.J. Van Bogart. Van Bogart out of left field is 0 for 2, struck out swinging his last time up. Santa Cruz is anticipating a bunt again. This is on the outside corner for a called strike at the knees. So more than likely that will take the bunt off. Quite frankly, I don't know why. Take another shot at it. No balls and 2 strikes. I realize that when you bunt it here and it goes foul, but no harm, no foul. Outside corner, woof, just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes. After Van Bogart will go to the top of the order, Jacob Frederick. At the set, off-speed pitch down low and nicely blocked by Valenzuela. Count evens at 2-2. at the set, 2-2, runners on first and second, nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth. That misses outside. So one pitch away from loading them up as Eli Madrid comes in the bottom of the sixth inning here on the mound and struggles right off the bat, no pun intended, 2 base hits off the bat. Outside corner for a called strike looking. First out of the bottom of the sixth inning, and we'll go to the top of the order, Jacob Federico. Federico is 1 for 3, flew out in the first, doubled in the second, and flew out in the fifth. So a little bit of a reprieve for Madrid. Santa Cruz on the grass at first base. Mendez even with the bag with the first pitch ball. Middle infielders Gilbert Valenzuela at short and Alejandro Martinez at second, pinched in hoping to get a double play. They have yet to turn a double play. This one lifted to center field. Daniel Gonzalez on his horse. Back, and it goes over his head and lands on the warning track. That will score 1 for sure, and they hold the runner up at third. The reason they had to hold him up is Elijah Hart had to wait and see whether that ball was going to drop in or not. And it's going to be an RBI double. So the second double in the ball game for Federico. And that will bring up Mikey Villa. Villa has a couple of hits in 3 times at bat. First pitch, strike. So Elijah Hart is over at third. At second base is Federico. 0-1 count on Mikey Villa, the right fielder. On the knees for a called strike. So Mikey, despite the fact that he's got 2 hits tonight, is down 0-2 in this at-bat. We have 1 out here in the bottom of the sixth, and the score has been expanded to 8-2 in favor of the Champs. High pitch strike swinging, and that will be a strikeout. It is the second strikeout of the inning for Madrid, but he got in trouble by giving up 2 base hits to the first 2 batters that he faced, and that will bring up Luis Zamorano. Zamorano has 3 hits on the night. First pitch swinging, missing, 0-1. He's got 3 hits, 2 stolen bases, and 2 runs scored. So a very positive night here for the second baseman for the Tucson Champs. Off-speed pitch, strike, changeup, had good arm motion. I'm going to guess that he used that index finger to thumb circle on the ball, which gives the pitcher an opportunity to throw hard, throw his arm hard, but the ball comes out very slow. Just missed outside. Not exactly sure that Mr. Madrid agreed with the home plate umpire, but agree or not, the count is 1-2. Outfielders pretty much squared away and medium depth. This is the off-speed pitch and hit out towards left field. Sandburn comes in and grabs it, so it will be the last out of the inning. But 1 does come across, 1 inning in the bottom of the 6th, and after 6 full, the score is Tucson Champs 8, and the Stars stepping up with 2. Hey, it's got to be Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium on the 4th of July because they're going to have a spectacular fireworks show following a 7-inning all-star game. That game will start at 6:30. Gates will be open at 5 o'clock. And what will greet you at 5 o'clock here will be dollar hot dog night, giveaways, kids fun zone with games, music, and a whole lot more. And all of this for just $4. Now you can get an even better value by buying advance tickets either here at the stadium or at several locations around the city, Pizza Hut, Food City, and the Cactus Bowl. And with those advance purchases, you will get free parking as well. So be here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium on the 4th of July. Gates open at 5. The game starts at 6:30. Fireworks probably around 9 o'clock. But you can get your advance tickets that will get you free parking, all for only $4. Pizza Hut, Food City, Cactus Bowl. Well, we're about ready to get underway here for the top of the 7th inning. 8-2 in favor of the Champs, without regard to the fact that they have a much lower record than the Stars. High pitch to Robert Valenzuela, base hit, and 2 RBI in the 4th inning. This one banged into left field. Hustling over to get it is Van Bogart, and Valenzuela takes a big wide turn at first base, but retreats as Van Bogart gets over there and gets the ball back in. So the second base hit on the evening for the young man who plays catcher, and we'll see whether they're going to give him a courtesy runner here or not. At any rate, that'll bring up Alejandro Martinez, the second baseman. Last time up, Alejandro lifted a sacrifice RBI fly to right field. Before that, he struck out swinging. And we're in the top of the 7th inning, a move to first not quite in time. Cole Altier still on the mound for the Champs. He came in the top of the 4th inning. Whoa, almost got the batter in the nose. Little high inside chin music there that Martinez had to scramble to get out of the way. Nobody out and a runner on first. And the Stars trying to claw their way back into this thing. Around the bunt, takes it as a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. The left fielder Van Bogart is fairly deep in left field. Conversely, the center fielder Ricky Martinez is fairly shallow. Around to cover the bunt, does cover it. Pitcher grabs it as the third baseman runs by it, and the ball gets away, and the runner from first base can go into second base because there was nobody there covering. Well, a little scramble there between Elijah Hart, the third baseman, and Altier, the pitcher. Somehow, some way, it got away. So Robert Valenzuela goes all the way around to third, and very alertly, Alejandro Martinez gets around to second base because with the scramble of who was going to be where and what, second base was left open. Gilbert Valenzuela, the shortstop, is the hitter, came into the ball game batting .357 here in the stadium. Hits this one out towards Zamorano at second base. They'll let the run score for the out at first base. 4-3 is the first out. So a run batted in for Gilbert Valenzuela. Jonathan Debo, the designated hitter, looks at the first pitch out of the strike zone for a ball. He struck out looking on 3 pitches in the 5th inning. Got a walk in the 2nd. Ducks back out of one that was about letter high. And the count goes to 2-0. This one lifted towards right center field on his horse is Ricky Martinez. He gets way back there and gathers it in, but it is certainly deep enough to be able to get the run home from third. And that will be the second run of the inning here, and an RBI for Debo. Second out of the inning, and the bases are now clear. Outside corner for a called strike. The left fielder Sanborn is the batter. He struck out looking in the fifth. A little bit of a late swing and flares it off to the right field side and into the stands and actually up to the mezzanine. Sanborn 0 for 2 tonight. Swinging at the 0-2 pitch and fouling it off. This one to right field, headed towards the corner on his horse's Villa. It's going to get down and bounce up over the wall there for a 2-out double to right field. So Shark Sanborn cruises into second base on the ground rule double. He goes to Cochise Community College in Sierra Vista, Arizona. Actually, Cochise is in Douglas. He graduated from Wilcox High School in Sierra Vista. The batter is Jesus Acuna. Jesus grounded out to the shortstop Baez in the fifth inning. First pitch a ball. Altier really cruised through the sixth inning, threw only 10 pitches in the inning. This one drops down low as he is considerably higher in his pitch count in this inning and also has given up 2 runs. Turning away from an inside pitch is Acuna. 3-0. First base is open. High and away. Advantage hitter at 3-1. Couple of outs. On the knees for a called strike. 3-2 on the hitter, 2 outs, a runner on second base. We're in the top of the 7th inning, 2 across for the Stars. So it is 8-4 now. Altier decides to shoo Sanborn back at second base. Got some activity in the Stars bullpen at second base, and they got him. So that means Jesus Acuna, with a 3-2 count, will come up with a brand new at-bat as the 1-6 out is the third out of the inning. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 more runs across for the Stars. And after 6.5 innings of play, it is the Champs 8 and the Stars 4. Cochise has been a leader in all aspects of fire protection services since 1982. 1982. Cochise Fire Protection Company serves both home and business locations by providing design, planning, and management of your fire protection needs. Cochise has an extensive knowledge in fire protection and works hard to keep their fine reputation. Look online to find Cochise Fire Protection. They are first in quality, and they serve with pride. To the bottom of the 7th, as the Stars have chipped away a couple of them in the top of the 7th inning. First batter will be Nathan Baez, the shortstop. Nathan looks at the first pitch ball, second pitch a called strike. Nathan 2 for 2, sacrifice RBI in the first inning. a triple that got an RBI in the third inning, takes a second called strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes, and then he got a base hit in the fifth. So in the last 8 at-bats, he has gotten 7 base hits outside for a ball. He was 5 for 5 Saturday night out on one of the south fields, and 2 for 3, actually 2 for 2 here. But I was talking about plate appearances outside for a ball. And the count will fill at 3-2 with Campillo and Martinez, the next scheduled hitters. So the Stars need to put the brakes on the Champs here and peck away at it. They've got 2 more at-bats to do so. Hard hit, deep. Ricky Martinez on his horse back to the warning track, and he gathers it in for the out right at the warning track. Takes about a half step and bangs into the wall out there. So a fine play by Ricky Martinez in center field. Went a long way to track that one down, and that will bring up Robert Campillo. With 1 out and nobody on, Campillo got a 2 RBI single in the 5th inning, hit by a pitch in the 3rd, and struck out swinging in the 1st. I gave credit to the wrong player. Shame on me. That was Daniel Gonzalez. First pitch, strike to Campillo. Hits it sharply down to 3rd. Mendez comes up with it. Nice throw all the way across the infield and gets the out. Second out of the inning. 2 fine plays. Daniel Gonzalez went a mile to track down one at the warning track in left center field to get the first out. And then Robert Campillo banged one hard down to Marcus Mendez at 3rd, who picked it up sharply and had a strong throw across the infield to get the out. 2 outs, nobody on. Pitch inside to Ricky Martinez. I knew that Ricky was around somewhere. Just put him in the wrong box there. 1-0. Just misses inside. 2-0. Got a couple of they got action in both bullpens now. See if we can pick up who is out in the home field bullpen. Two balls and a strike. Martinez is 0 for 2. Bangs one just inside. Oh, my goodness, it was just outside the bag there. So the count will be 2-2. Warming up for the Tucson Champs. That is Simon Bogey. And we can't quite catch the number for the Cochise Stars out in right field, the visitor dugout or the visitor bullpen. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs to number 12, Ricky Martinez. Fists one, but it'll go foul left side. Doesn't quite get into the stands. When I talk about stands here, of course, it's not home runs type stands. Stands down the right field and left field line. Another foul ball. We'll go to the 7th pitch of the at-bat. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Champs up there enjoying an 8-4 lead. Off-speed pitch misses outside. So it goes 3-2. In the dirt. So Eli Madrid with his first walk. Eli came in the bottom of the 6th inning. Got a couple of strikeouts, but gave up a run. Ferreira, the catcher, steps in there. He doubled in the 2nd and came around to score. Got hit by a pitch in the 4th and grounded the ball back to the pitcher in the 5th inning. Bottom of the 7th, Champs enjoying an 8-4 lead. They in the 5th place in the standings. Holding rain here, this one sky high to left field. Sanborn coming in on it and grabs it for the final out of the inning. So nothing across here for the Champs in the bottom of the 7th inning. And after 7 full innings of play, it is the Champs 8 and the Stars 4. O'Reilly Chevrolet, boy, do they have deals going on. 20% off MSRP on most popular cars, trucks, and SUVs on the lot. Head on down to 6160 East Broadway. O'Reilly Chevrolet. O'Reilly Chevrolet, the good folks that know how to provide the best in sales and service. They are just wrapping up their anniversary 10th sale and going into another sale, 4th of July sale. They have deals, deals, and deals going on. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Eli Madrid, excuse me, got the wrong side there. Cole Altier still in the lineup for the Tucson Champs. First pitch inside to Jesus Acuna. Acuna was up there last inning, had a 3-2 count on him. And that was right about the time that they threw him out at second base. They caught Sanborn off the bag at second base. So they start the count all over again. That one outside. 2 balls and a strike. Acuna coming into the stadium tonight, batting 167 in the stadium. 2-1. Well, that'll raise the batting average. Sharply struck into left field. A leadoff base hit for the Stars. They scored 2 last inning. They scored 2 in the 4th. So they've got 2 more at-bats to try to make up the difference of 8-4, which they are down right now. That'll carry us up to the top of the order. Marcus Mendez. Mendez is 1 for 3, was robbed of a base hit by Luis Zamorano, who went into shallow right center field to make a circus catch on a ball that was headed for a base hit. First pitch to Mendez is a strike. Cole Altier came in the 4th inning, has given up 3 so far. Runner goes, throw down to second base is going to be in time. So they get him out 2-4 for the first out, and the Stars may have run themselves right out of an inning here. Nice idea to get the runner down to second, but what you really need, if you're going to do that, is maybe get him a bunt or whatever, swinging strike, second out. So a rather promising inning, starting with a leadoff single, has disintegrated into 2 outs here and nobody on with Daniel Gonzalez. He is 1 for 3. Cannot tell you how many times a player makes an outstanding play in the field and happens to be one of the 3 batters scheduled to come up the next inning. Big swing for Daniel, misses it. Daniel went about 5 miles to track down a ball at the warning track, waves at one outside. And the count to Daniel goes to 1-2. Stars really need to kind of get at least one here. Started off in a promising manner, 2-2 the count, but died with the attempted steal and a fine, strong throw by Furuya. Just misses hitting him inside, 3-2 count. Next hitter is Cavallo, and that will be a called strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Altier. And we will check on how many he's got so far. But first off, we'll remind you that the top Tucson driving school is Stop and Go Driving School. Learning to drive is not just something that you do to pass your test and get your license. You do it to make sure that you're safe on the road. Hundreds of thousands of automobile accidents happen every year, many of them fatal. With the Stop and Go Driving School expert teachers, you'll be best placed to keep yourself safe. Certified driver education courses are available at Stop and Go Driving School. Outside corner for a called strike at the knees to the designated hitter, Dylan Kaiser. Kaiser here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Takes the next one as a called strike, 0-2. Last time up, Dylan got a base hit in the 6th inning. Before that, this one wrapped out towards the second baseman, Alejandro Martinez, over to first for the out. First out here in the bottom of the 5th inning with the Tucson champs leading at 8-4. The Stars with one last chance coming up in the top of the 9th inning. Elijah Hart will come up there. He's got a couple of base hits and 1 RBI in 3 times at bat. Last time up, he got a base hit, got around to third. Called strike. Well, there's that changeup, got in there for a strike. It's either a changeup or a split finger fastball, hard to tell from up here. But whatever it is, it dies when it gets to the plate. This one into the dirt for a ball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on and out here in the bottom of the 8th inning with the Tucson champs on top 8-4. They are not on top of the Cochise Stars in the standings. So this is a mild upset happening here. Outside and low. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Golfed at and bounced out to Valenzuela at shortstop. Good strong throw across the infield. And I'll tell you what, that just shows you how close Hart got to beating that out. Just exactly how magnificent 90 feet in baseball happens to be. Valenzuela had to do a decent job to get over and get the ball, come up with it, throw a nice strong throw across the infield, and even with perfection on both ends, Elijah Hart almost got there by about a half step. He missed it. A.J. Van Bogart with 2 outs. First pitch to him outside for a ball. A.J. a couple of strikeouts here the last 2 times at bat. Then he grounded out before that to Martinez at second. Way outside, 2-0 is the count. Van Bogart came into the ball game batting .250 here in the stadium. Outside corner called strike, 2-1. At the set, plate, waved at and missed, 2-2. Second batter in a row that Eli Madrid has gotten to a 2-2 count. Big hit, left field, foul. Count will remain 2-2. Boy, when there's a ball behind you like that, you've got to yank that bat down. How many times have I seen it where the batter ducks under a ball but forgets to bring the bat down, and you get a little bunk, and all of a sudden you've got a strike. Or, worse yet, it goes into the fair territory, a walk. So a 2-out walk will put a runner on first base. Second walk given up by Madrid. He came in the bottom of the 6th inning. To the top of the order we go, to Jacob Federico. An RBI double his last time up in the 6th inning. Before that, he had another double. Looks at the first pitch, a called strike on the outside corner. Two for 4 tonight, 1 RBI for Jacob, who is the extra hitter. Banged into left field. Don't think the runner will advance past second base, only because the ball was hit very sharply into left field. So 2 outs, but runners on first and second, and the Stars can ill afford allowing any other base runners and any other scores. Mikey Villa, who turned in a fine defensive play in right field, is up there with a fine offensive output tonight. Couple of base hits and a couple of runs scored in 4 times at bat. This one hit very high into shallow left field, but Sanborn is over and gathers it in for the out. So that will put the capper on the bottom of the 8th inning. Nothing across here, despite a walk and base hit. So after 8 full innings of play, it is the Tucson Champs 8 and the Stars 4. Hey, how about stopping by and seeing the difference at Goliath Auto Sales? They are the no-pressure used car dealership. They're located at 5170 North La Cholla Boulevard in Tucson. One of their recent customers, John from Tucson, wrote in, nice enough to do so, and in doing so, he was quoted as saying it was the most painless deal I ever had buying a car. I would highly recommend Goliath Auto Sales. For value pricing affordable vehicles, make sure that you check out Goliath Auto Sales. Leading it off for the last chance Stars here in the top of the 9th inning. Lifted into shallow left field, back to get it. and drops in between them. That was Nathan Baez and A.J. Van Bogart almost bumping into each other. Derek Cavillo was the batter, and he got a base hit, so that's the way to start things off if you're trying to make a comeback. Sergio Santa Cruz will be the hitter. And what the Stars need are base hits, and base hits. Simon Bogey has come in relief of Cole Altier to pitch here in the top of the ninth inning. Sergio Santa Cruz up there with home run power. This one lifted to left. A long way to go for the left fielder Van Bogart because he was swung around to center field, and a flub out in left field by A.J. Van Bogart will advance the runners. So 2 base hits in a row, and on top of that, a fluffed ball in left field will send the runners around to second and to third. So things are off to a great start for the Stars as they were in the 8th inning. But Altier came in and got 2 strikeouts and got out of it. This one straight away, well, shallow behind second base. Second baseman Sammarano gets back there and grabs it as Robert Valenzuela, after getting 2 consecutive hits, pops out to the second baseman Sammarano, first out of the inning, and that will bring up Alejandro Martinez. Big gun to the plate, called strike. Pinch hitter set in there is Andre Green. So Andre Green will try to keep things going. Second pitch, a called strike. So the batter number 15 is promptly in the hole. Outside for a ball, as well it should be. You don't want to give up something over the plate with an 0-2 count. 1 out, runners on second and third. The Stars need 4 to send it into the 10th inning. Holds up. The ball gets away from the catcher. They throw to first to get the out there. Apparently he did not hold up, as the home plate umpire immediately signaled that it was a strike. And so the Tucson, or rather the Cochise Stars, down to their last out here with the catcher, or rather the shortstop, Gilbert Valenzuela, stepping in. Fired outside. Boy, I tell you what, this bogey brings that ball hard. Gilbert, the shortstop, is 0 for 2 on the night. Inside corner for a called strike. Has a little discussion with the umpire as to its location. He grounded out and got an RBI in the 7th inning. This one hit out towards the shortstop, Baez. Baez up with it and across the infield, and that will do it. So a mild upset here tonight, without regard to the fact that the Stars got their first 2 batters on here in the 9th inning. Simon Bogey came in and really shut him down, so nothing across in the top of the 9th. And the final score is 8-4 here. The Tucson Champs used 3 pitchers tonight: Tyler Gray, Cole Altier, and Simon Bogey to close it out in the top of the 9th inning. And as I mentioned, it was a mild upset tonight because the Cochise Stars have a 12-6 record. This is their 2nd loss in a row. They were threatening to take over first place, but they lost in that game and now have turned around and lost to the 5th place Tucson Champs. So the Cochise Stars going to have to shake it off and see what's up. The Tucson Champs are 4 back of a playoff position with 5 left to go, and getting the win tonight, putting their record at 7-13, gives them at least an opportunity to make a run at that final playoff spot. Looking at the scoring tonight, leading off the scoring, the Champs, they got 1 in the first and 2 in the second and third. so they were up 5-0. Finally, the Stars got on the board with 2 in the top of the 4th inning, but unfortunately for them, the Champs came right back with 2 in the bottom of the 5th, and we had a 5-inning score of 7-2. The Champs added 1 more in the 8th. Finally, the Stars got on track again with 2 in the top of the 7th, making it 8-4, but nothing much happened after that, and that's the way we ended up at 8-4. We'll take a check on some of the scores in the outlying fields here as we have a final. The Cochise Stars losing to the Tucson Champs 8-4. It is the bottom of the 9th inning with the BNL Rockets up 6-1 over the Kings. And in the top of the 9th inning, Team Tucson is leading the Rincon Knights 7-5. So if we kind of figure out that maybe it'll all stay the way it's at, so the Champs come up, and they will now be 7-13. The Stars will drop down to 12-7. Then we'll go with Team Tucson, as they are on the upside of their score. So let's give them a 10-8 record, with the Rincon Knights dropping to 4-15, and that will obviously keep them in the cellar, giving them not an opportunity to get out of the cellar. They were only in there by a half game. However, the Old Pueblo Kings also lost tonight, so the two of them, the Knights and the Kings, only a half game apart with the effort to get out of the cellar. And the BNL Rockets keep flirting around with first place. They've taken a run at it a couple of times, and what they basically do here is get to within a game of the idle Aztecs. And later on, let's see, the Aztecs will be playing. They do not play BNL again, so that kind of makes a challenge. BNL, to be able to overtake the Aztecs, will need some help from somebody along the line. Now, the Cochise Stars played the Aztecs at the end of the season, and the Stars, the only team to come up with a victory over the Aztecs in recent weeks. So that is still somewhat open. This is all leading up to the 14th of the month of July, in which we'll have a semifinal game. Actually, it'll be on the 15th, and on the 16th of the month, we will have the other semifinal game. The top 4 teams will be in it. And then on the 17th, the championship game here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. Now, there's been a little bit of a change in what's going on here for the schedule for tomorrow. The teams that are on the schedule for tomorrow, there are only 2 of them. It was going to be the Aztecs against Team Tucson and the BNL Rockets against the Cochise Stars. The Aztecs were to play here in the stadium, but because Pima County wants to get ready for Thursday's blockbuster fireworks show and everything else like that, they asked that the game be moved out to one of the south fields. So we will not be on with the webcast tomorrow night. Obviously, Wednesday, we are dark at all times. And then on Thursday, and if you're anywhere in the area, you need to come out for this, because we'll have a fantastic fireworks show, 25-30 minutes at least. Also have an all-star game, and that game will only go 7 innings. Gates will open at 5 o'clock. There'll be dollar hot dogs, giveaways, kids fun zone with games, music, and a whole lot more. You can get advance tickets either here at the stadium. Well, you're not going to be able to do that because we'll be dark tomorrow. They might be selling them out in the south fields, I'm not sure. Or you can stop by the Kino Sports Complex office, or you can go to Pizza Hut, Food City, or the Cactus Bowl and pick up your advance tickets. Now, the positive thing about doing that will be that you not only get a $4 ticket to the game, but you get free parking. If you do not have an advance ticket, then you'll need to pay a couple of bucks for parking on the 4th of July. Hope to see you here. That does it from Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium, where the Tucson Champs upset the Cochise Stars by a score of 8-4. From Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium, this is Alan Scott saying good night.